Hey guys, Blepnir here with another team review, and today we're going to be looking over a team consisting of Trevenant, Shadow Celio, and Magcargo in the back. So I really like this team because Trevenant and Magcargo really can complement each other. Magcargo can handle the flying types, the steel types, the um, grass, the ice types, uh, whereas Trevenant can handle the water types and the ground types, which are double super effective against Magcargo. And Shadow Celio is just really spammy in the middle. So the basic goal of this team is to get shields down with Trevenant and Celio so that Magcargo can come in the back and one shot or get the opponent very low with the charge move. And I found that strategy worked really well. And what I also found was that even though this team is a heavy charge move pressure team, it has surprisingly high fast move pressure as well, which is a great sign because that means that you really can't go wrong. You can either defeat your opponent using your fast move damage or you defeat them with the charge moves. So let's take a look at the battles. So we have Trevenant onto Cherim. So Cherim has Weather Ball Fire, so I don't want to get hit by that. I'm immediately going to swap into Celio, uh, and they swap into Hypno. So kind of a bummer that I didn't build up at least to the Water Pulse, but I'm actually going to get to the Water Pulse this time, and because Celio charges up so fast, the Hypno probably thinks that it's just a Body Slam. So they let it go through, and that does enough damage that a Body Slam would take them out. Fortunately, I'm not quite able to get there, but you see how Celio survived that Thunder Punch. So Shadow Celio is surprisingly bulky, despite how much damage it does. And so, unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch this Fire Weather Ball. So I'm going to do three more Shadow Claws, and I'm going to catch onto Magcargo. And you see there that I actually got a free Incinerate. So that's going to come in real handy because that's a 5-turn move. That's a ton of energy, a ton of damage. And they come into Driftblim. So I already have a huge energy advantage because of that Incinerate. And I'm just going to start spamming these Rock Tombs. So I suspect this is an Icy Wind, and it is, which is really great. Because now even debuff, this Rock Tomb is going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to lower the opponent's attack even further. So they had to expend 2 shields, and their attack is 2 stages debuffed. So I'm going to survive this Shadow Ball here quite comfortably. And I even get a single Shadow Claw worth of damage and charge before throwing the Shadow Ball. So we're looking pretty good here. I just need to get to the Seed Bomb, and I take out the Cherim. So a lot of fast move pressure, a lot of charge move pressure. If your opponent doesn't have a team that can hard counter at least one of your Pokemon, you're pretty safe with this team. So we have Trevenant into Ariados. I switch immediately into Celio. They switch into Lantern. So not a great matchup, but the good thing is that I can really spam out these body slams, and they're going to have a much harder time getting off the single Thunderbolt needed to kill me. So let's see how much they decide to charge up. And they let me get to a third body slam, which actually they shield. So this is really nice because now I have a shield. They have a shield deficit, and they tied me for CMP. So they didn't get to farm up as much as they might want to. And my Trevenant is just going to completely wall this Lantern now. And you see, I'm not throwing. I want to farm this all the way down because I think that with enough of an energy advantage, this Trevenant's just going to be unstoppable. So let's see what they come in with. They come back in with Ariados, and they throw immediately, which is really good because my Magcargo resists all these moves. Resists this Cross Poison because of the rock typing. Diggersby comes in, but this Diggersby is not going to appreciate these overheats. And so now this is where the having all that energy on my Trevenant is going to come in real handy because this Diggersby can take out my Magcargo, but I already have over 2 seed bombs on Trevenant, and 1 seed bomb is going to be enough to take out this Diggersby. So I bait here with the Ariados, a little bit risky, but they fall for the bait, so it ended up being the correct play. I should still have been okay if I didn't bait, but if you're pretty positive that your opponent's going to shield, then you may as well bait, just because, that I think that learning when to bait and when not to bait is something they have to learn by practice. So Driftlim, kind of a negative lead, so I'm going to switch immediately into my Celio, and I can fake an Aurora Beam here, which would be an Ice type move, one-shot the Driftlim. And I'm pretty sure this is just an Icy Wind. I don't think they even got up to the Shadow Ball. So I call the Icy Wind, and now I can spam out these Body Slams onto this Lapras. So the Body Slams, unfortunately, aren't doing very much because of the Icy Wind debuff, but I'm still insanely healthy, and this Lapras is going to have to Skull Bash me in order to take me out. And I don't think that they're going to Skull Bash me here. Yeah, they just Surf. And so I'm trying to get into the Trevenant, and I have a ton of energy on that Celio. So I'm thinking that almost 3 Weather Balls on Celio's got to be worth something. I come in with Trevenant. I bank on the fact that they don't have Ice Beam. If they had Ice Beam, this wouldn't be a very good situation. And luckily they shield on their Driftlim, even though they correctly caught the Seed Bomb. So if they didn't shield there, might have been a little bit tough. But as it stands, they throw, and I'm confident now that I can farm them all the way down. So luckily, I got my shield back. They come in with Magcargo with Rock Throw. So this is kind of tricky because Magcargo with Rock Throw is kind of Magcargo with Incinerate's worst enemy, because it's double resisting the fire and it's doing super effective damage. I've got to keep this away from my my own Magcargo. Luckily, I do have the Water Pulse ready, and that's double super effective to the Magcargo. So that's the main reason why I chose Water Pulse over Aurora Beam, is because it's a little stronger against fire types, and I wanted a little bit of more charge move pressure against fire types, because Rock Tomb is not a very strong move, and that's my main defense against rock types. Against fire types, I mean. So I'm going to immediately switch here into Celio, and I bait out a Dugong. So this is really nice. You get to see the Dugong versus Celio matchup, and I think that Celio pretty much consistently wins this, because it's double resisting the Icy Winds, it's double resisting the Ice Shards, and these Body Slams are hitting for very solid neutral damage. So it's really just a war of attrition now, where I'm slowly whittling away at this Dugong. I think I should be able to take them out in 2 more Body Slams. Yeah, another Icy Wind. And I just decided to come in with my Trevenant, just because having that extra energy is really nice. They come in with a Beedrill, and this is kind of troublesome because my Celio is kind of low, and my Magcargo definitely does not want to get hit by a double super effective Drill Run. And they have Fellstinger, so that's a really scary bait move, because it's gonna make their attacks more and more powerful, and I have to call the Fellstinger correctly, or else I'm gonna get hit by a Drill Run. So I decided to call the first one. This is really risky. It's because I'm in the low early elo range that I thought it was safe to call it, because you got to know your opponent, and right now I think that these are the types of opponents that would bait. And now I got a ton of energy to throw at this Marowak. So a little bit risky calling the bait. But I was like so positive that it was going to be a bait, and I could have played my way out of it if I had shielded there, but yeah, I didn't want to be in that situation. So we're going to see how well a Celio does against a um, Toxicroak when it has a nice energy advantage. This is what good safe swaps are for. It's for getting an energy advantage and maybe winning a unfavorable matchup. So as you see there, I got a shield and I got him super low. I might have been able to defeat him if I had Water Pulse instead of Body Slammed that second time. So I'm just going to absorb all this energy onto my Trevenant because I'm reading that my Magcargo is going to be the key to victory in the back. So I switch immediately into Magcargo, which is good because they come in with their Golbat. So Magcargo is a major core breaker here. It's resisting the poison typing on both the Golbat and the Drapion. I just have to watch out for an Aqua Tail. So that's why I shielded there, was because I was worried they were going to Aqua Tail me. Luckily, Drapion seemed to carry Sludge Bomb instead of Aqua Tail more and more often these days, which is good for Magcargo. And so I no shield there because I might get the defense debuff, which you see I did. So I overheat. I might have been able to Rock Tomb, but I didn't want to risk it. And unfortunately, I was not able to catch the Poison Fang there. I'm going to call this as a Poison Fang. This is another risky call because that could have been a Shadow Ball and that would have been game over. And so I go for the Overheat here instead of the Rock Tomb. They both do a lot of damage, but Overheat does about 5 or 5 to 7% more damage because it's just such a hard-hitting move. And the Rock Tomb is not that great. So even though it's super effective, it doesn't do as much as the Overheat. So I want to get ahead on energy here, so I immediately switch into my Celio. And if they call the fact they don't have Aurora Beam, then I'm in a bit of trouble. But luckily they don't. They go immediately into their Frostlass. And so I'm doing something kind of weird here. I'm body slamming first, anticipating that they're not going to shield. And now I'm going to go for the Water Pulse, hoping that they think I have Aurora Beam. And luckily they do, so that's a lot of damage there. They actually have to throw. I might have gotten to a body slam, but I didn't want to have them shield and then farm up a ton of energy, so I just decided to let my guy go. And I get a really nice farm here. I'm anticipating a blind avalanche, which it is. So luckily, not very effective avalanche on the Magcargo. And so now I need to hopefully get through this overheat, which I don't. So now I'm probably going to switch into Trevenant after this. The Crunch doesn't do too much. Switch into Trevenant. And Crunch does a little bit more this time. But I'm just really banking on my Magcargo in the back to win me this match. So I have 2 shields for Magcargo. I'm going to get to both a Rock Tomb and an Overheat. Or two overheats here against the so that's kind of risky. I would go for the Rock Tomb first instead of just going for 2 overheats. But luckily they shield there, so could have probably just gone for 2 overheats. Now we have Trevenant into Kingdra. So I'm gonna switch into my Celio to catch right there because I know the counts for Octazooka. So that's a really nice catch. We're going to see what they want to do. Luckily, I didn't get the debuff, so the attack debuff, so they're forced to shield there if they want to keep their Kingdra alive. And now I'm calling this because I know I can get to a body slam if this is Noctizuka, and I luckily can. I was 1 Dragon Breath away from getting KO'd there, so I win that secondary matchup, and I get a shield. Just an example of how good Celio can be on the safe swap. So Golbat is not going to appreciate this Magcargo here. Magcargo resists everything but the Shadow Ball, and I don't think that's enough for a Shadow Ball. So easily takes that Poison Fang. He's going to get off these Rock Tombs. I anticipate he's going to shield, but his attack is getting lower. Situations like this is what makes the rock typing on the Magcargo so nice. Luckily, they have a Politoed in the back, and this Politoed is going to be pretty much one-shot by these Seed Bombs. Going to get off 2 Seed Bombs. Undercharging, but this is going to be more than enough to take him out anyway. If I undercharged a bit less, then maybe I could have gotten to a Shadow Ball, but as it stands, just able to get to a Seed Bomb, do a little bit of extra damage, and once again, I'm probably going to call this. No, I just shield here because there's no reason to call it. And now I get to the overheat. And you see how low I got the Golbat, even though the Seed Bomb was double resisted, just all the fast move pressure from Incinerate and Shadow Claw and those 2 Powder Snows, just really nice. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed these first few battles in the new Season 10 Great League Remix. I know I had a lot of fun. I don't think that this is a very typical team. I think that you don't see these sorts of like super spammy fast move and charge move pressure teams. They're kind of, and then to have a Incinerate user in the back that is a rock type, it kind of changes the game. And I really think that I caught some opponents by surprise. So if you have a Magcargo, if you want to try it out, please let me know. Feel free to subscribe. Please like my video, and